What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the Goodol'boys channel. So we have a header and tire test on my 2015 Chevy Silverado. We also have some other just random history and information about the truck, so I hope you guys enjoy. Alrighty guys, so this is going to be the header and tire test on my truck that you can see here. I bought it at auction, and this was the damage. It got hit high in the front end, no frame damage. So it's been a nice truck. So we'll just get right into the video here. When I bought it, had 61,000 miles on it. And then we're just going to jump into the video here. Welcome back to the Goodol'boys channel, guys. So I'm going to be showing you these ball tires that we're running. We're going down to Panama City Beach. And we are putting on about 2,000 miles. Unfortunately, we're about halfway through the trip already, but we'll show you the tires though. Here's what the tires are. This is what the tires look like. I think Brad's driving. And then I think this is the front tires.
Sorry. I said Dan would probably.
How nice of you, Bradley. Well, guys, you can. So we kind of jumped forward in time here. We had already been to the beach, and this next clip here that you're seeing, we're on our way back home, and we're picking up a truck in Kentucky. Guys, you can see we have the trailer behind the truck. We're now in Kentucky. Let's see, you have the keys, Moses. This is what our tires are looking like. They haven't really changed at all. $74,000, and we're right about what is that? Louisville, Kentucky. Louisville, Kentucky. All right, now in this clip, we're picking the truck up, as you can see. Hey, why not? Sweet. Out here in the rain. So we're back home from Panama City Beach. You guys can see we have a different truck and trailer on here. So the same day we got home, they unhooked the U-Haul trailer and the Dodge truck. And we went and got this thing. So basically, there's a few more miles on here, but as we can see, tires really don't look that much different. Front or rear. And we'll see how many miles we got. 74,485. So I think we're just gonna run these tires and see how many miles we can get out of them. And I mean, they're $50 tires, so we'll see at the end what we end up with. So the old Silverado is back from the West Virginia trip. Show you how many miles is on it, if it will do it. Sometimes you got to open and close the door a few times to get the mileage to come up, and even then sometimes it doesn't come up. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. I guess I got it to work here. 75,000 miles at this point after the West Virginia trip. That's what the tires are looking like. All right, guys, we got the header and tire test going here. Let's see how many miles. See the tires. So this is one of those cases where I couldn't get the miles to show up without the key. And of course I had the key tucked well away in a box. It was in another box, and it's just a hassle to get it out. So at this point, you could see the tires and the headers were still on the truck. So we had a few more miles on than we did in the last clip. And then of course, I've got some fun clips added in here as well. Guys, we have another test of the headers and tires. I'll show you the mileage here. So of course, guys, these are just random clips thrown together as the miles have gone on to the truck. And as you can see, We pick up all kinds of things all the time, and that's how the miles mostly get put on the truck, is just driving around, picking up these Craigslist deals. And so sometimes you have to travel a couple 100 miles, and of course the Florida trips, the riding trips, it all adds up and the miles go on very quickly. I'll show you the mileage here in a second. This is what our tires look like. And we've still got our headers, as you guys can see. So go check out the mileage. See how many miles we have on it. Get the keys and stick them in. Oh no, the mileage came up. All right, 76,160 miles. Yep.
Into a corner.
Alrighty guys, so here's the deal. It's the end of the tire and header test. Just in case anybody was wondering, these are my spacers here. I believe they're 1.5 or 2 inch spacers. So I never actually figured out what size these spacers are, but you can see from my finger there, they're probably 1.5 inch spacers. So yeah, not exactly sure, but not too important anyways. Guys know what I thought of running headers with no tune later in the video as well. So this is one of the front tires here. You can see it's more bald on one side than the other. This is a 2-wheel drive truck. There's no alignment issues or anything like that. These tires were worn like this when I got them. And you can see here inside of the tire, outside of the tire. And normally this happens on this side of the tire. So as you can see, the tires wore pretty good. I mean, over a course of 8,000 miles, we've done pretty good with the tires. They barely wore. And keep in mind, I put these tires and headers on at 70,000 miles. See, headers are still on there. So I took the wheels and tires off just because I was selling them. And then, of course, the headers came off just for functionality. They're awesome, but they do get a little bit annoying after a while. So, yeah. But you can see right there, that's the mileage that we ended at. Miles. So 78,000 miles. And then, again, remember, I put the headers and the tires on right around 70,000 miles. And then, of course, also, I think I showed you the spacers. Yeah, so I put a 3-inch American Truck spacer block in the front end here. If you guys have been watching my videos, I did have a silver hood on this truck at some point, and I bought that off eBay because, of course, the original one was crushed, so I had to get another one. Now, the one I bought had hail damage, so you can see I had to do some body work to it. And I figured out the hard way I really needed to put a skim coat on this hood, but I did end up figuring out the body work, and the hood came out about 99.9% perfect, so I can't complain too much. So, you know, no more hoodless horsemen. I did run the truck for a couple weeks without the hood, which won't hurt anything. Now, if you leave it like that for years and years and years, of course, you're going to have problems, but overall, the hood turned out really well, and this is the silver hood that's painted up white, and you can see it matches pretty good. I guess I've shown you guys the DA sander that I used here. I worked my way up through from 2,000 grit all the way up to 3,000 grit. So typically you normally hand wet sand a hood like this, but I did have several thick coats of clear coat on there. I didn't cut through the clear coat anywhere. So if you are using a DA sander, it cuts the time and labor down quite a bit, and it really honestly was a lifesaver on a panel this big, but you have to be extra careful. So that's not part of the headers and tire test, but I guess just part of the story of the truck. And then once it was set back to stock, I did get a frame machine because I do like fixing and buying these trucks. And, you know, of course, every one of these trucks I've had really good luck with. So some final thoughts here on the tires and wheels. I think I could have got another 5,000 miles out of them, even though they were pretty much bald. They didn't hydroplane. I didn't have any issues with grip or anything like that. So really good tires on Nito's end. They were great tires. Now, the headers, I was running with no tune. That's right, no tune. So I ran them for 8,000 miles. Now, of course, when I got the truck, it already had a rear main seal leak. And where I'm going with this is the truck did use some oil as time went on, used more and more oil. So I'm not sure if it was the rear main seal just leaking more and more, which I think is more than likely the case. Or it could be that the rings were kind of starting to go bad. But that being said, the truck does not visibly burn any kind of oil. You know, it's still got good high compression. Like, all signs are pointing to the fact that the rear main seal is probably what's leaking the oil, and I think the rings are just fine. So would I run headers again with no tune? Yeah, probably. I think you could get at least a couple thousand miles out of it, but overall my recommendation would probably be to just go ahead and get a tuner, because you can never be too safe. Alrighty guys, so that's pretty much it for the header and tire test. So I did have a couple more final thoughts here. So this truck is probably just going to be our work truck or farm use truck around here, even though it's a super duper nice truck, and I mean, it's got a lot of life left in it. Well, like I said, the oil consumption issue it's not really honestly that big of an issue. You'd have to add a quart or two for every 5,000 miles you would drive the thing. So again, not a big issue. And on some trucks, it's just typical or average. And I have also heard that the DOD system, which runs the truck on 4 cylinders instead of 8, does actually cause the truck to use some more oil that way as well. So I'm not sure if that's what's going on as well. But again, I have a hunch that if you replace the rear main seal, and there's also some high pressure oil lines that are leaking a little bit, but I have a good hunch that if you replace a couple seals there, which would take maybe a couple hours, that the truck wouldn't be burning oil. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. I guess it's something we'll just have to explore as we put more and more miles on the truck. So once again, that's it guys. I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out that description box below, and we'll catch you guys on the next video. Woo!
It's all about humanity.